Listen to me. This is not an accident that you are hearing this right now. You've been asking questions in your heart. God, will it ever happen for me? Did I miss my chance? Why am I still waiting? I came to tell you something powerful today, something prophetic, something your spirit needs to hear clearly. God is writing your love story, not rushed, not delayed, not forgotten. And yes, your marriage is being prepared. Stay with me, because by the end of this message, your waiting will make sense. Let me talk to you for a moment, just you and me. Waiting is one of the hardest things a human heart can do, especially when it comes to love, especially when it comes to marriage. You watch others move forward. You attend weddings. You scroll through photos. You smile on the outside, but deep inside, there's a quiet question. God, what about me? And sometimes the waiting feels heavy. It feels lonely. It feels confusing. You start to wonder something is wrong with you. You replay old relationships. You remember heartbreaks. You remember promises that were made and broken. But listen carefully. Delay is not denial, and silence does not mean absence. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3:11, He has made everything beautiful in its time. Not your time, His time, and God's timing is not late. God's timing is perfect. Today I want to help you shift your perspective from frustration to faith, from fear to trust. Because while you are waiting, God is working. Every great story has an author. And your love story is not random. It is not an accident. It is not being written by people, culture, or pressure. God Himself is the author. Think about this. An author doesn't rush the plot. An author doesn't skip character development. An author knows the ending before the story even begins. And right now, you are in a chapter, not the conclusion. You see, when God writes a love story, He doesn't just focus on who you will marry. He focuses on who you are becoming. Because the right marriage requires the right heart. So if God is taking time, it's because He is shaping you, strengthening you, healing you. Sometimes God keeps you single not to punish you, but to protect you. Pause. He is protecting you from the wrong person, from unnecessary pain, from a future filled with regret. God loves you too much to rush your destiny. Let me say this slowly. Your waiting season is not wasted. While you wait, God is doing two things. He is preparing you, and He is preparing them. Yes, the person meant for you, you may not see it, you may not feel it, but heaven is working behind the scenes. Just like Isaac and Rebekah, they didn't meet by chance. God aligned their paths at the right moment. Just like Ruth and Boaz, Ruth thought she was just surviving, but God was positioning her for covenant. And just like you right now, you think you're just waiting, but God is aligning timing, hearts, and purpose. If God rushed the blessing before the preparation, the blessing would break you. So God waits. Because love that lasts must be built on foundation, not emotion. Let's be honest for a moment. Some wounds cannot enter marriage. Some brokenness must be healed first. God is not cruel. He is careful. If He joined two broken people too early, they would hurt each other instead of helping each other. So sometimes God says, let me heal you first. Heal your self-worth, heal your trust, heal your fears, heal your expectations. Because marriage does not complete you. God completes you. And when two whole people come together, that's when love becomes powerful. If you feel lonely right now, lean into God. Let Him fill the spaces people couldn't. Because the love you receive from God now will shape how you love later. Comparison is dangerous. When you compare your journey to others, you start doubting God's plan. But listen, what God is preparing for you may be deeper, stronger, and more meaningful than what you see on the surface in others. Some people married early but paid the price later. Some rushed into love or walked into heartbreak. God saw what you didn't see, and He said, not yet. Not because you're behind, but because He has something better. Pause. Your story is custom made, and God never copies and pastes destinies. God is not offended by your desire for marriage. He created love. He created companionship. Psalm 37:4 says, delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Notice, He doesn't remove your desire. He fulfills it, but in His way, in His time. So trust Him. Trust Him when nights feel long. Trust Him when prayers feel unanswered. Trust Him when hope feels quiet. Because God is not ignoring you, He is preparing something sacred. Let me remind you of some truths you need to hold on to. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not unlovable. You are not running out of time. God is intentional. Every no protected you. Every delay refined you. Every tear taught you. And one day you will look back and say, now I understand. That day is coming. Your marriage will not be built on desperation. It will be built on peace, not on fear, but on faith. And when it happens, you will know it was worth the wait. Take a deep breath right now. Release the pressure, release the fear, release the timeline you created, and say this quietly in your heart. God, I trust you, because He is writing your story line by line, chapter by chapter. And the best part has not been written yet. If this message spoke to you, take a moment to reflect, pray, sit with God, and if you feel led, type I trust God with my love story in the comments. Subscribe to show motivation, and share this message with someone who is waiting, someone who needs hope today. Remember this, God is preparing your marriage. And when it comes, it will be worth every moment of waiting. Stay faithful, stay patient, stay hopeful. Your love story is coming. When we talk about love and marriage, it's easy to feel like everything depends on us, on our choices, our timing, our circumstances. You may look at your life and wonder why you haven't met the right person yet. You might even start questioning yourself. Am I doing something wrong? Am I missing an opportunity? Will I ever experience the love I desire? These thoughts are natural, but they come from focusing on the wrong author. Your love story is not a product of chance. It is not something written by human hands or hurried by circumstances. Your story has a divine author, and that author is God Himself. When God is writing a story, it is never rushed, careless, or incomplete. He knows the beginning, the middle, and the ending before it even unfolds. Unlike humans who often act impulsively or out of desire, God works with perfect wisdom. Every chapter He writes is intentional. Every character, every encounter, and every season of waiting is placed with purpose. Even the seasons that feel empty or lonely are carefully orchestrated. The pauses, the detours, and the unexpected turns are all part of the divine plan. Think about a skilled author. They don't introduce the main character and immediately hand them everything they want. They develop the character. They allow challenges to shape the protagonist, teach lessons, and prepare them for the climax of the story. God does the same with your heart. He is not rushing you into a relationship simply because the world says it's time. He is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you to fully embrace the love He intends for you. This perspective changes everything. Waiting is no longer meaningless or frustrating. Every experience, even the painful ones, is a line in your story written by God's hand. The heartbreaks, the misconnections, the loneliness, these are not signs of failure. They are seasons of preparation, chapters that build your resilience, faith, and understanding. The right marriage cannot be rushed because the wrong union could harm your heart or derail the destiny God has planned for you. The Bible gives us many examples of how God orchestrates relationships with perfect timing. Isaac and Rebekah did not meet by accident. Their paths were aligned in the right season. Ruth waited patiently, not knowing the plan, but God guided her to Boaz at the exact right moment. These stories show that God carefully authors love stories, ensuring that timing, character, and purpose align perfectly. What looks like waiting to us is actually God setting the stage for something beautiful and lasting. When you embrace this truth, you stop blaming yourself, and you stop trying to force outcomes that are not yet meant to be. You begin to see that every encounter, every heartbreak, every lonely night is a part of the divine authorship. God's hand is in the details, shaping your heart, guarding your emotions, and positioning your future spouse exactly where they need to be. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are being prepared for the love that aligns with your destiny, a love that will be worth every season of waiting. Believing that God is the author also brings peace. You no longer feel the pressure to find love on your own or to compare yourself to others. You can trust that your story is unique, carefully written, and unfolding exactly as it should. When the right time comes, the right person will appear, not by chance, not by accident, but as a fulfillment of God's perfect plan. And when it happens, you will recognize it instantly because it will resonate with the preparation and purpose God has been building in your life. So, remember this, your love story is sacred, intentional, and in the hands of the greatest author of all. He is writing every line. He is guiding every step. And the love He has for you in your marriage is already planned, already perfect, and already designed to fulfill the desires He placed in your heart. Your job is to trust Him, embrace the waiting, and grow in the seasons He has given you. The author knows the ending, and it is more beautiful than you can imagine. Waiting can feel heavy, can't it? Sometimes it feels endless. You see couples around you celebrating engagements, planning weddings, and moving forward in life while you remain in what feels like a long pause. It's natural to wonder if God has forgotten you or if your dreams of love and marriage will ever come true. But here's the truth. Waiting is not punishment. It is preparation. God often uses seasons of waiting to prepare you for what you cannot see yet. Think of it this way. If you were handed a finished product before you were ready for it, it could harm you, it could overwhelm you, or it could even lead to regret. God, in His infinite wisdom, knows this. That is why He allows waiting, why He allows the seasons where your heart feels restless, and why the timing seems delayed. He is preparing both you and your future spouse for the love that is coming. During the waiting, God is refining you. Every moment of solitude, every prayer whispered in secret, every tear shed in private is shaping your character. He is teaching patience, cultivating faith, and strengthening your spirit. This is essential because love that lasts requires more than just attraction or desire. It requires a mature heart, one that is ready to give, to forgive, and to walk with another soul through life's storms. Waiting is a time of growth, a time of preparation, and a time of deep personal transformation. At the same time, God is preparing the other person. While you wait, He is shaping them in ways you cannot see. He is molding their character, healing their wounds, and guiding their path so that when you meet a person who complements you, strengthens you, and shares the values that will sustain a long-lasting marriage. This alignment takes time. Patience is not passive. It is faith in action, trusting that God is working on your behalf, even when you cannot see the results. Look at the stories in the Bible. Joseph waited many years before he became the second in command in Egypt, but his waiting was not punishment. It was preparation. David waited to become king, and Ruth waited for Boaz. Every delay had a purpose. Each season of waiting aligned circumstances, hearts, and timing to bring about something far greater than what could have been achieved if rushed. Similarly, your waiting is shaping the circumstances, your heart, and your readiness for the person God has for you. It is also important to understand that waiting is not wasted time. Your prayers are not going unheard. Your faithfulness is not unnoticed. God is actively at work behind the scenes. He is orchestrating encounters, protecting you from relationships that could harm you, and positioning your life so that when love comes, it comes at the perfect moment with the perfect person. Every moment of waiting carries a divine purpose, even if it feels invisible to you right now. The key is perspective. When you see waiting as preparation rather than punishment, it changes everything. Instead of resentment, you feel trust. Instead of fear, you feel hope. Instead of doubt, you feel confidence in God's plan. You start to recognize that every experience, every heartbreak, every delay, every challenge is a part of God's careful design for your life. You begin to embrace the season you are in, knowing that it is not a punishment, but a profound opportunity for growth, refinement, and spiritual alignment. So when the waiting feels long, remind yourself that God is preparing the best version of your love story. He is shaping your heart, aligning your future, and orchestrating circumstances so that when the right time comes, everything falls into place. The wait is not a setback. It is a setup for a relationship that will endure, a love that will fulfill, and a marriage that reflects God's perfect plan. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust God's hands. Your season of waiting is sacred. It is purposeful. And when it ends, you will see that every moment was necessary for the beauty of the love story God is writing just for you. Before two people can come together in a lasting, meaningful marriage, something critical must happen: healing. Many times we focus only on finding the right person, imagining the joy, companionship, and love that marriage will bring. We dream of the wedding day, the shared home, the future together. But if we neglect the inner work, the heart work, the healing God wants to do in us, that union can become a source of pain instead of blessing. God knows this, which is why He often delays the arrival of the right person until the right healing has occurred. Healing is not just about recovery from past relationships. It is about addressing every wound, insecurity, and fear that could sabotage your marriage. Think about the brokenness that we all carry: fear of rejection, mistrust from being hurt before, self-doubt, and unresolved anger. Entering marriage with these unhealed wounds is like building a house on sand. It may look beautiful at first, but the foundation is weak, and the storms of life can shake it. God wants your foundation to be solid. He wants your heart prepared, strong, and whole so that your love can flourish in safety and security. God's healing is often invisible at first. You might feel alone, empty, or even frustrated during this period. You may look at others who seem to have found love easily and wonder why you are still waiting. But healing takes time because it is deep work. It reaches into your mind, your emotions, your past experiences, and even your spirit. God is not rushing it because a rushed heart can bring rushed mistakes. He is meticulous, gentle, and intentional in preparing you to give and receive love fully. Healing also prepares you to recognize the right person when they arrive. When God finally brings your future spouse into your life, you must be ready to love them in a mature and selfless way. This is why He asks for your patience now. A healed heart does not cling to the wrong person out of fear or loneliness. A healed heart can wait confidently because it trusts God's timing and His plan. Healing gives you discernment. It allows you to see love clearly, not through the lens of past hurt or unmet desires. Another important aspect of healing is forgiveness. We often carry bitterness or resentment from past relationships, family wounds, or unmet expectations. If we do not allow God to work in these areas, these hidden pains can creep into a marriage, creating tension, misunderstanding, and even division. God wants to remove the bitterness, replace it with peace, and equip you with a heart capable of giving fully. True love cannot coexist with unresolved anger or unhealed pain. Healing is the soil in which true love can grow. Healing is also about learning to be complete in yourself. God never intends marriage to complete you. He intends marriage to enhance a life that is already fulfilled in Him. When you are healed, you no longer look to someone else to fill your emptiness. You are whole, confident, and content in God's love. And when your future spouse arrives, you bring fullness into the relationship rather than dependence, which makes the union stronger, deeper, and more joyful. Finally, trust that God's timing is perfect. Sometimes the right person seems delayed simply because the heart is not ready. God is patient, and His patience with you is an act of love. Each day of healing is a step toward the marriage He has planned, one filled with peace, joy, and covenantal love. When you embrace the healing process, waiting no longer feels like a burden. Instead, it becomes a season of preparation, growth, and transformation. So, surrender your pain. Invite God to heal your wounds. Release the past. Let go of fear, and allow your heart to be made whole. When healing comes first, the love God intends for you will be stronger, purer, and lasting. The union that awaits you is not just a relationship. It is a covenant, a blessing, and a testament to the work God has done in both of your hearts. Healing must come before union, and when it does, your love story will be ready for its most beautiful chapter yet. One of the most dangerous traps for anyone waiting on God's timing in love is comparison. You see others moving forward in life, weddings, engagements, new relationships, and it's easy to feel behind, overlooked, or even inadequate. You may start asking yourself questions like, why hasn't this happened for me yet? Or am I doing something wrong? This kind of thinking can create fear, anxiety, and frustration. But it is important to understand that comparison is a thief. It steals peace, it steals joy, and it blinds you to the beauty of your own journey. Your story is unique. It is custom written by God for your life. The timing, the people, the experiences, all of it is orchestrated with precision. What you see in others is not your template, and what happens in their lives is not meant to measure your worth or your progress. Every person's journey has its own rhythm, its own lessons, and its own timing. When you compare, you are looking through a lens that God never intended you to use. You start measuring your life by someone else's chapter, instead of focusing on the masterpiece God is creating in your own heart. Comparison can lead to impatience. When you see someone else receiving the blessings you long for, you may feel like God is delaying unfairly. You may start trying to force outcomes or make hasty decisions in relationships just to catch up. But these actions can lead to heartbreak, disappointment, and even spiritual confusion. God's plan is perfect, but it requires patience and trust. Rushing because of comparison is stepping outside of His timing, and it can compromise the love and blessing He has prepared for you. It's also important to remember that what you see on the surface is not the full story. Social media, celebrations, and public milestones often hide the struggles, challenges, and imperfections that accompany every life. That couple who married young may be dealing with issues you cannot see. That person who seems ahead in life may be learning lessons you don't yet understand. God knows all of these details. He sees your heart, your readiness, and the perfect timing for your blessings. What seems delayed to you is intentional and protective, shaping your story in a way that will bring lasting fulfillment. Comparison can also make you forget gratitude for what you already have. You may focus so much on what is missing that you fail to see the growth, healing, and progress happening in your life right now. Every season of waiting, every moment of personal reflection, and every step towards spiritual growth is a gift. It is part of God's preparation for the life and love He intends for you. When you stop comparing, you open your heart to see the blessings that are already present, and you begin to trust the timing of the blessings that are coming. Your journey is yours alone, and God never copies and pastes destinies. The love story He is writing for you may take a different path, a longer path, or a more intricate path than someone else's, but it will be perfectly tailored for your life. The right person will come at the right time, not before you are ready and not later than you need them. Your story is not delayed. It is divinely orchestrated. Learning to stop comparing requires faith. Faith that God's timing is perfect. Faith that He knows the desires of your heart. Faith that He's working behind the scenes to align circumstances, prepare hearts, and bring about a love that is secure, fulfilling, and enduring. It also requires reflection, prayer, and self-awareness. You must focus on your own growth, your own healing, and your own relationship with God rather than measuring yourself against someone else's journey. When you embrace the truth that your story is unique, comparison loses its power. You can celebrate others without resentment. You can wait without fear. You can trust God fully, knowing that the love He is preparing for you is designed specifically for your life. Your story is unique, and it is beautiful. It is unfolding in His perfect timing, and no one else's journey can take its place. Desire is a natural part of the human heart. God Himself planted within you the longing for love, companionship, and a life partner. These desires are not wrong, nor are they sinful. They are a reflection of the beauty of creation. However, the challenge comes in trusting God with these desires. It is easy to want something so deeply that we try to force it into our lives before the right time, before the preparation is complete, or before the person meant for us is ready. Trusting God with your desires means surrendering control and believing that His plan for your life is far better than anything you could orchestrate on your own. Psalm 37:4 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." Notice carefully, it does not say that your desires will be fulfilled immediately or in your own timing. It says that when you delight yourself in God, align your heart with Him, and trust Him, He will fulfill your desires in the right way and in the right season. The key here is trust. Trust that He is actively working on your behalf. Trust that He knows the perfect timing. Trust that He sees the people, circumstances, and paths that you cannot yet see. Trusting God with your desires requires patience. When your heart longs for love, it is natural to feel urgency, to feel anxiety, to feel like time is running out. But urgency does not produce the right results. Acting from desperation, settling for less than what God has for you, or pursuing relationships out of fear often leads to heartbreak and disappointment. God's timing is not late, it is perfect. Every delay, every season of waiting, every moment of preparation is intentional. Trusting Him means understanding that these seasons are refining you, teaching you, and protecting you. Trust also requires faith. Faith that God is aware of your heart, that He understands your deepest longings, and that He is working all things together for your good. Even when circumstances seem stagnant or when hope feels quiet, faith allows you to rest in God's hands. It allows you to believe that He is writing a story more beautiful than anything you could imagine. Faith transforms waiting from a period of frustration into a season of growth, reflection, and spiritual readiness. Another dimension of trusting God with your desires is surrender. Surrender means you do not dictate how, when, or who fulfills your desires. You allow God to orchestrate the circumstances and the people involved. Sometimes the right person arrives in ways you would never expect. Sometimes the timing seems unusual or even inconvenient. But surrendering control is necessary because God sees the whole picture while we only see fragments. He is positioning your life, preparing your heart, and preparing your future spouse so that when the moment comes, everything aligns perfectly. Trusting God also involves self-reflection and growth. The desires of your heart are not just about getting something, they're about becoming the person who can handle and honor what God has for you. While you wait, He is shaping your character, healing your wounds, and equipping you to give and receive love fully. Trusting God with your desires is not passive, it is active. It is prayer, reflection, patience, and preparation, all rooted in faith that God's plan is perfect. Finally, trusting God brings peace. When you release the pressure to control your future, you allow God's peace to fill the spaces of anxiety, fear, and impatience. You begin to experience joy in the present moment, gratitude for what you already have, and hope for what is coming. Your desires are not ignored. They are held in God's hands, refined by His wisdom, and aligned with His perfect plan for your life. When you truly trust God with your desires, you are no longer rushing, worrying, or settling. You are waiting with confidence, faith, and hope. You are allowing God to craft a love story that is purposeful, sacred, and eternal. Your desires are not dismissed. They are being fulfilled in the way only God can, in a timing only He knows, and in a love that is far greater than you could ever imagine. Faith and patience are two of the most powerful spiritual tools you can carry while waiting for God's timing in your love life. They are not just virtues to admire. They are active disciplines that shape your heart, your decisions, and ultimately the blessing that God has prepared for your marriage. So many people struggle because they try to rush love, or they grow frustrated when their desires seem delayed. But the truth is that the most enduring, meaningful, and joy-filled marriages are built on the foundation of faith and patience, not on haste or convenience. Faith is the ability to trust God even when you cannot see the full picture. It is believing that He knows what you need, that He sees the desires of your heart, and that He is working behind the scenes to bring about a love that is perfect for you. Faith allows you to look at waiting not as punishment, but as a season of preparation. It allows you to walk through periods of loneliness or uncertainty without despair, knowing that God is orchestrating circumstances, shaping hearts, and preparing both you and your future spouse for the day when your paths finally align. Faith transforms fear into hope and anxiety into trust. Patience works hand in hand with faith. Patience is not passive, it is active trust in God's timing. It is the calm endurance that keeps your heart steady when the world seems to be moving faster than your life. Patience prevents you from settling for relationships that are not meant for you. It allows you to wait without losing your peace or compromising your values. God's timing is perfect, but it requires that your heart is ready, your character is strengthened, and your desires are aligned with His purpose. Patience is the proof that you are trusting God to write your love story without interference, without manipulation, and without fear. Think of a farmer planting seeds. He does not rush the harvest. He waters the soil, removes weeds, and waits for the right season. The growth happens gradually and naturally. If he tried to force it, the seeds would fail. In the same way, your love story requires faith and patience. You cannot force timing, you cannot rush maturity, and you cannot manipulate the circumstances God is aligning for you. Waiting patiently with faith allows your love story to develop fully and flourish in its season. Faith and patience also build strength and resilience in your heart. Life is filled with challenges, disappointments, and moments of uncertainty. When you trust God and remain patient, you cultivate a heart capable of handling not just love, but the responsibilities, conflicts, and joys of marriage. A blessed marriage is not just a union of two people. It is a partnership built on trust, understanding, and a shared foundation of faith. By practicing faith and patience now, you are laying the groundwork for a marriage that will endure storms and celebrate victories with the right perspective. Patience helps you embrace the lessons of waiting. Every season of solitude, every challenge you face, every moment of reflection is refining you. Faith allows you to believe that all of this preparation is purposeful. When the right person enters your life, you will meet them with a mature heart, a peaceful mind, and a spirit ready to love fully. This is why rushing never works. The blessing of a God-ordained marriage comes only to those who wait faithfully and patiently, trusting that God's plan is flawless. Finally, remember that faith and patience invite God's blessing. When you align your heart with His timing, you are not just receiving a spouse, you are receiving a love story crafted by divine wisdom. Every prayer you offer in trust, every moment of waiting endured with patience, and every act of faith strengthens your readiness for the marriage God is preparing. The union that awaits you will not only fulfill your desires, but will reflect the grace, guidance, and providence of God. So, commit your heart to faith, embrace patience as your companion, and trust that God is orchestrating your love story with perfect care. When you do this, you are not simply waiting, you are preparing for a blessed, sacred, and eternal marriage that honors God and fulfills the deepest longings of your heart. The love you have been waiting for is coming, and it will be worth every moment of faith-filled patience. Take a moment and breathe. Reflect on everything we've spoken about today. Your love story is not a random collection of events. It is divinely written. Every delay, every season of waiting, every moment of growth and healing has purpose. God is the author, and He is crafting something far greater than you can imagine. Remember, the wait is not punishment, it is preparation. Every challenge you've faced, every heartbreak you've endured, Every tear you've shed, these were not wasted moments. God has been shaping your heart, your character, and your spirit so that when the right person comes into your life, you will be ready to receive love fully, wisely, and joyfully. Healing must come before union. Let God mend the broken places within you so that your marriage is built on strength, trust, and wholeness. Stop comparing yourself to others. Your journey is unique. Your timing is intentional. And your love story is unlike anyone else's. Trust God with the desires He placed in your heart. Your prayers are not unheard, and your dreams are not too big. Faith and patience are the keys that unlock the blessings of a sacred, enduring, and joyful marriage. So today, I want you to make a choice. Let go of the fear, the doubt, and the pressure. Surrender your timeline to God. Trust His perfect plan. Believe that He is preparing everything, the right person, the perfect moment, and a love story that will honor Him and bless your life beyond what you can imagine. Take this to heart. The story He is writing is beautiful, intentional, and sacred. Your love story is coming. It will arrive in the fullness of God's timing. And when it does, you will see that every wait, every lesson, and every moment of preparation was worth it. Stay faithful, stay patient, stay trusting, and get ready because God is about to open a new chapter of your life. A chapter filled with love, joy, and blessing that only He could write. If this message spoke to you, I want you to take action right now. Reflect on it. Pray. Write in the comments, I trust God with my love story. Share this message with someone who is waiting and needs hope today. And don't forget to subscribe to Cho Motivation to continue walking in faith, wisdom, and encouragement. Your love story is coming. Trust Him. Wait well and rejoice because the best is yet to come.